Hello everybody, my name is Skybound.
Starlight Flux.
Tip top.
And we've just got finished watching the finale, season 8, episode 25 and 26 of My Little Pony Friendship is Magic. Reactions down in the description, down there.
Yeah.
Click on it, watch it. It's
Because
really
it's one hell of a reaction.
Watch it right now. We recommend you watch it before you watch our review.
Yes, seriously. We'll give you like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Right,
Okay, for those of you still here, what a roller coaster of a finale that was.
Well, yes, it was. I mean, for starters, Cozy Glow. I mean, I knew she was a manipulative or little thing, but
that
manipulative that she could manipulate the entire main six, and not only like they say, and
the whole school.
Yeah, and the whole school. I mean, crying out loud.
She's actually like a bit of a genius, really, when it comes down to it.
Well, you remember earlier in the season, even Starlight commented on how devious she was.
Oh God, yeah. Actually, that's a good point.
She's got a very sort of she's got a very devious mind, which is actually super interesting because that suggests that maybe you know, she might not be fully reformed or at least. But actually, now
she's
in torturous.
You saw the end. She still doesn't regret her actions.
Actually, that's something curious.
That's it.
Because of Tartarus and the close proximity that she's in with T-Rex. What is the chance of her basically her ideas being radicalised, essentially?
Well, either that or
sounds like she already has been.
Well, to be fair, I don't.
She's the one who was in cohorts with him in the first place.
She's the one who's already. I don't think she could get any more bloody radicalised. She's been radicalised by speaking.
She was
So hang on, here's a question.
Referred to her as his protege.
Well, here's a question. There's a couple questions. One, how the hell he managed to do that? Maybe it was using his Brazilian magic that he still had. And two, was she originally a pony that's been manipulated to the point where she's actually started to turn evil?
Yeah, like I say, the biggest plot hole for me is how did she get in contact with T-Rex in the first place?
Yeah.
How are you supposed to get messages in and out of Tartarus? And how would she even know where to start?
Yeah, I mean, I suppose she is very intelligent, obviously, but still, getting messages in and out of Tartarus, unless the fact that she had that key.
Good point. Yeah.
That wouldn't work because T-Rex seems surprised at.
Yeah.
How.
Yeah, he was somewhat surprised.
Oh wait, did we ever?
Well, yeah, but that was. I think he was only surprised because of the fact that the magic was all disappearing. He was surprised that the main six had made it in there because he would have thought Cozy Glow had the key.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, if Cozy Glow had the key, the question still remains how the hell he got it on. Yeah. And
maybe she came to that. Maybe she came to that school and then found out.
The point still is, it's a massive plot hole and. Whether it be addressed in like a later season or not, God only knows.
Maybe.
Writers know.
For all we know, it might just be addressed in the comics.
That's a good point, actually. That may happen. I'll pay attention to the comics because I actually get them. So.
Yeah. I mean, I think we kind of called that the student six would be the ones to end up saving the day.
Of course it would. It's kind of obvious.
It's been leading up to that. That's the whole story arc for this season.
Yeah, the whole thing is.
The student six are. I dare say I'm more fond of them this season than the main six.
Well, I would say so because there's been a few episodes where the main six have been in interesting situations, but there's been times when it seems like they've been just rehashing stuff.
It's as you've said, the main six are starting to become more like supporting characters now, and the student six are the main focus, and I like that.
I do, and I think I actually do like the characters of the student six, especially those.
The problem is they can't.
Well, everybody's biased. I mean, Marcellus is your favourite, Silverstream is my favourite.
There's also the difficulty of, the show's called My Little Pony. What can they do now that we've got maybe characters that are dragons, hippogriffs, all that sort of stuff? They're going to have to call it something different, like.
Well, true, yeah, but
maybe that's what they're leading up to.
The title doesn't have to, the title doesn't have to apply the whole thing. I mean, is Black Mirror actually about a mirror?
No,
I don't know. I've not watched it.
No, it's not. But the point, you raise a good point there, and I think. If they do another generation, I wouldn't be surprised if it involves the student six.
Possibly, I think maybe.
But we said that about the.
I think the whole point of another generation is it's starting from scratch.
Yeah, true. But I think to be fair, the student six, it's almost like they're taking over for.
I think that's kind of obvious that was the plan.
Yeah, but they've actually become somewhat elements of harmony because the
Yeah,
tree of
I mean, I don't know if specifically one or the other has represented one in particular. They're kind of a mishmash of all of them.
well, that's the thing that I do have to admit it did seem a bit of a like harmony deus machina at the end.
Well, I mean, just the fact that there were 6 of them, but I don't think they were specifically meant to be representing one element each.
Maybe we'll find out next season. Maybe we'll find out that each one of them has actually.
Yeah,
maybe,
the
or
fact,
maybe it's a totally different set.
yeah, maybe.
perhaps. I mean, the fact that they kind of, they got sucked in, but then they magically.
Well, it was the tree that pulled them out. I mean, we've already established
Because
a long
event-
time ago that the Tree of Harmony is sentient.
It's sentient and it's basically as powerful than almost anything in the question.
That's the point. This whole magic field, yes, it was, it was attracting magic from creatures, but obviously not from the Tree of Harmony.
The tree of magic is OP. Let's just say
The tree is the OP tree. Yeah.
But don't nerf
Trio
it.
P, please nerf.
Why would you nerf that? It just saved their flipping asses, mate.
Yeah. Can't get copped out by.
Anyway, I must admit, I did not expect going into this that Tyrek would be involved again. I mean, I didn't think we were ever going to see him.
I didn't think that was going to happen. I also didn't think that. I also didn't think that.
Well, your prediction originally was that Cozy Glow was going to be Chrysalis.
Well, it seemed she was manipulative enough to be Chrysalis. Let's put it that way. But the thing is, I did expect her to be involved in the finale.
Oh yeah, I think we all
I had a very high.
I think we all did.
From the
They've
first
not
time
exactly,
I saw her,
not
if I'm
exactly,
honest.
well, yeah, they've not exactly been subtle about it.
No, they haven't exactly been subtle. Although I didn't know where Naysay was going to bring into it. I didn't know if he was going to be.
I didn't even know Naysay was going to be a part of this, and
I kind of did think he was going to be there because.
I thought he'd be there because it wouldn't make sense to just introduce him in like one episode and then never really mention him again.
Well, he did appear again though mid-season.
Yeah, but he wasn't really used as a villain. He was set up as a sort of someone who would show up in the finale.
A plot device.
Yeah, he was set up as that. You could tell from the way he was done.
Yeah.
I mean,
it was an interesting dilemma that Cozy Glow was presented with when he turned up because she did not factor that in.
No.
Yeah.
I mean, this is like it's almost like they've actually managed to make a really good job out of a story that was going to take all sorts of different directions.
Yeah, I mean the fact that Cozy Glow had to improvise once he turned up.
Yeah.
It was a very difficult one to tell where it was going to go.
Yeah, I have to say that it was.
Which is actually quite surprising because, to be honest, a lot of MLP episodes are very predictable.
Yeah,
God,
this one much less so. You never know. You couldn't really figure out because I mean I know the Student Six obviously were kind of expected to be the heroes. You didn't know who else might turn up or what kind of twists and turns it might take. This felt. I mean I know it was a two-parter anyway, but it felt like an even longer story in a sense. There was that much going on.
Yeah, there was, and I mean, it's interesting how Naso really didn't actually end up helping in the end, though. Cause
I mean, he's horrifically speciesist, or he was.
He was, but
Perhaps his feelings on segregating species has somewhat lightened now that he's kind of seen the power.
Well, yeah, obviously he's okay with it now.
I think, to be fair,
I think just the fact that the one who stabbed him in the back was a pony and the ones who busted him out were not ponies. I think that's
well, to be fair, your life choices and beliefs are often based on your experience, so we can put it down to that. Let's say that.
Long and short, he was never loved as a child.
Probably, or
maybe he was bullied by dragons or something when he was a foal. Who knows? But the whole thing is it's quite interesting actually how as a character he is like obviously as
in a sense
as a kids show it's very difficult to tackle a topic like racism. And let's face it. He was not subtle at all.
Yeah.
He was not subtle at all.
In a sense,
and he was. I mean, to be fair, he was absolutely useless, really, because he did go off and get. Mind you, he did get all the armies coming.
Well, yeah, and granted, without them, Cozy Glow might have actually gotten away.
Yeah, that's true.
But that being said, in a sense, like Cozy Glow wasn't reformed, but at least we got that in some sense because he was reformed in a way.
Yeah.
Because
he was the character I wasn't expecting to see reformed, if I'm honest.
Yeah.
But this does beg the question. If, this season's villain was T-Rex and what's-her-face...
so we've not seen the last of Chrysalis, we know that at this point.
We know Chrysalis is still a thing, so what's going to happen with Chrysalis now?
I'm going to say this now. I'm going to say this now. I reckon she will turn up for season 9.
I will go further than that and say I reckon she's going to be the final big boss villain of season 9.
I wouldn't be. This is This is going to be. I don't know why I'm saying this, but I reckon that there's going to be bringing back a lot of villains from the past in season 9, especially if it's going to be the.
It's a question of which ones, though, because we've already seen that Tyrek is still in Tartarus. I think it'll be too soon for us to see him again.
Yeah, so we're not going to. I don't think we'll see Tartarus and Tyrek.
Maybe.
Unless the changelings. Well, unless Chrysalis says like changeling.
It's possible that Chrysalis could just be the one central villain on the basis that if she got away, she could have started an entirely new changeling army.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Well,
but maybe that changeling army could break into Tartarus and break out, Tyrek and.
Well, yeah, but you need Alicorn magic or the key to do it, don't you?
Well,
no, it was unicorn magic.
Well, anyway, the point I'm getting at is it's something that could. The only reason why I'm saying that is because if they were going to go off with a complete bang, because it's the last season, which has been suggested a couple of times, that may be the way they go ahead and do it.
But anyway,
although I am expecting to see Chrysalis next season.
Yeah. But anyway, back to this finale. I guess maybe the one slight letdown was the CMCs were ultimately kind of useless.
Yeah.
You thought I thought they were going to be some major help in this, and then
then they get shoved in a cupboard.
And then they get shoved in a cupboard for the rest of the second half.
They were basically.
That's what I meant about twists and turns. Like you were expecting at that point that the CMCs were going to save the day, and then nope.
No, shove them in the cupboard. Get.
Maybe one day they'll actually be, used in a plot like that.
Well,
in a finale plot.
In a finale, perhaps.
To be fair,
it's
they
not
did help in some way by
episode.
distracting her at least.
In a sense.
She said, what made me laugh about all that? It's
well, in a sense, they did. They kind of helped. Sandbar along to figure out what was going on.
The weird thing is with all of that is it was like, oh yeah, I'm not dumb to fall for this plot. Yet you went all the way out to put them in this cupboard in the first place, so you still ended up wasting time.
Well, no, I think she knew what she was doing. Like she was basically leading them on so that she was acting she was acting like she didn't know.
Yeah, but my point is she still got delayed by that, and she said that
because if she
got stalled by it, even though she said she could see it.
Or maybe it was just that she was skeptical from the beginning, but she wanted to see what the CMC would start asking her just to be sure.
Yeah. Well, anyway,
because you don't want to end up giving it away to anyone unless it's absolutely necessary.
Well, anyway.
But yeah, as a whole, I think score-wise, what would you give this finale?
I would give it
I'd rank it high, personally.
I would give it 8.7. I would say it's certainly there are some plot holes in it, but it's still a very enjoyable episode, and it's got a lot going on, and it doesn't seem too rushed. The pacing was alright, I would say. However, the one thing that I think it did let down was that Gabian proper of how the hell did the message get out there in the first place? How do you manage to communicate? You can fill in the blanks, but it's kind of not even anything there to fill in the blanks really. But anyway, that's just my personal opinion.
Yeah, I think I'd give it about the same, like an 8.5 and 8.6, something like that. I think it's probably maybe the second or third best finale that I think we've seen. It's certainly top half.
I think it's a good one.
I think it's certainly top half. Maybe not like the best one.
I would still say it wasn't season 4. I wouldn't say season 4 worthy.
It was certainly more complex. I thought it was one of the most complex finales we've had.
I would say yes, because there was a lot going on, and I would say that was. So I would probably put it on par with the one with. Starlight.
Yeah, I'd put it probably just below season 4 and 5. Like the Tyrek one and the Starlight one.
Yeah.
I'd probably put it maybe third behind those two.
Yeah. Because it certainly wasn't as good as the one which had the reformed changelings. I'll say that.
I'd give it.
I'd almost forgotten about that one.
Yeah. I'd give it an 8. I think. So it was a good episode. I did like the fact that it had some complexity. I like the fact that it went through some twists and turns and basically kind of subverted expectations to a degree.
Yeah, you really got all the characters in there too. There's very few that you didn't see. They even threw in Muffin at the beginning.
It does lose. It does lose a couple of points for like some non-explained plot holes. You know, how did T-Rex actually get reached in Tartarus, and what the hell was that during the?
And how did the creatures in Tartarus, lose their magic, but not lose the magic that was holding them together into hybrids?
Yeah, I mean, there's some kind of.
Well, to be fair, they were just maybe they were treated more like artifacts. Because if they were treated like artifacts, then it would have been at the end of that day that.
Yeah,
I guess
it's kind of weird though.
Yeah, it's not really well explained. So I think I probably actually.
I think plot holes aside, it was. I mean,
thinking about it, I'd probably give it a 7.6 because you're right. Those are some quite clear plot holes.
I think it was still a good episode.
It was
a good episode. That's the reason why
it was a very good episode, and I did like the complexity of it. I'm just saying the plot hole is kind of. I like plot hole. Like I like when the plot.
Be careful what you say on the internet.
I like when. Like after something's happened, like after an event's occurred, it kind of explains what happens, as it were. Because how it was, it just showed a thing, and there was no real lead up to it in terms of it just happened, and there was no explanation why. Like even in like a lot of shows that you see, even if something happens out of the blue, it's usually explained earlier.
You can tell we've been watching a lot of anime, me and him, because we have seen a lot more coherent.
Yeah, as I say, it was a solid episode. It's still a solid episode. Not my favourite finale, but good
same here. But it's still a good finale. I wouldn't put it on par with some of my favourites.
That was the finale. How would you rank the season as a whole?
As the season I would say it's not been my. I've liked some of the characters in it, right? I really like some of the characters in it. However, I wouldn't give it. It wasn't a bad series, but there's been some gaps here and there. It seems like it's leading up to a bigger series next.
Yeah, kind of like how
it's like a lead up.
Like how season 6 was leading into season 7.
I'd say season 2, 4, and 5 have been my favourite so far, and I'd say it ranks just below that. So I guess my 4th favourite season, so around middle ground.
Because I guess for me this season, it's been hit and miss.
Yeah.
In the sense that a few of the episodes have just been kind of okay, but the good episodes have absolutely been phenomenal.
Yes, that's why it seems like it's
there's been a few of the average ones, non-compete clause and what was the other one?
You talked about the Spike one that we watched earlier.
Yeah, that one. I forget what it's called.
Well,
me too.
But then on the other hand, you've had the real, the big hitters like What Lies Beneath and Meltdown
and also the one with what was the one we watched before? The Sound of Silence. I really liked that one. I really did. And I think, to be fair, I would say it's definitely not on par with season 4, or the one with the changing uniform, or the Starlight one. But it's below all. I think
if I were to pick out, say, a top 3, I would probably my 3 favourites I think would be Meltdown, What Lies Beneath, and Heartwarming Club.
But the thing,
I think those are the 3 that really stood out to me.
I can't
as really well written ones.
I can't remember enough of the episodes to actually say which ones were my favourite of the season. I know there were some good ones in there, but I can't remember the names of them off the top of my head.
As you say,
there were some solid episodes.
I think
it
wasn't a bad series, but it wasn't. And it was quite a good series, but it wasn't as good as some of the previous ones.
Yeah.
Which I don't blame the show writers, because they've done a lot.
Yeah,
before.
it's difficult to keep coming up with new ideas.
Yeah, it is.
This show's been going for 8 years now.
And the very fact that they managed to do it to the point where they still are coming up with somewhat of it's getting to the point where they're treading over some old ground.
Yeah.
But they are only just doing that after 8 years.
Yeah, bear in mind.
And that's actually quite impressive when you think about it.
Bear in mind, we're closing on 200 episodes at this point.
Oh my god, I wonder what would happen for episode
I think season 9 will feature a 200th episode.
Oh my god, we're going to have to do that again.
I don't know if it'll be a special.
Will it be a return of Muffin?
It's not.
Unnamed grey pony.
yeah.
Let's face it, it's Derpy. We all know it's Derpy, okay? We all know it's Derpy. Let's stop lying about it.
But yeah, I don't know if they'll be doing anything for the 200th, but for all we know, it might have already happened, but if I'm working it out wrong. But, okay, so that's the season. New characters from this season. Were there any that particularly stood out to you?
You know which one I'm
Smolder
You're an Ocellus fanboy.
Of course I am, because I'm a Changeling fanboy, damn it.
Smolder was actually one of my favourites.
Yeah.
She's my second favourite.
Yeah, I think Silverstream was my
Also,
favourite new character. Smolder a very close second.
What was the griffin's name? Wow,
Gallus.
Gallus, that's the one. Yeah, it sounds really bad. Yeah, that griffin was one of my favourite characters.
And you can't remember.
Yeah.
At least
Gallus.
I tried to remember mine.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Gallus is a fun character as well, just because he's very deadpan and very sarcastic. I like that character.
I kind of put Smolder as my second favourite for that same reason. I kind of Tomboy Deadpan. I think she pulls it off a little better than Rainbow Dash or even Ember did.
Yeah.
But I'd still put personally Silverstream as my favourite new character from this season. I mean, she is very much the Pinkie Pie of the group. She's hyperactive, she's full of optimism, and she's just downright flat out adorable.
Yeah. Yeah. So
Actually, I tell you, there's another character. I can't remember the name of it because we only saw it like today. Because we've watched
you're
a lot
talking about Autumn.
Oh, Autumn Blaze.
Yeah, Autumn Blaze. I really like that character.
Yeah, that's a solid character.
That is a very good character. I hope to see her again next season. Please let them.
Yeah, I do hope we see more Autumn Blaze because she was actually a very good character and she had some very on-point jokes and I do appreciate.
What I'd be curious to see, I mean, I must admit, I was kind of expecting more of this season. I'm hoping we get to see more of the ancient main six.
Yeah.
I mean, I know we saw Rockhoof a few episodes ago.
Yeah,
But,
and-
You know, hang on. Something just occurred to me. Right, we've got the ancient main six, we've got the current ones, and we've got the
the
future main
student
six.
six, yeah.
So I wonder if
They kind of got a past, present, future.
I wonder if they're leading on to something with past, present, and future as a theme at some point.
I guess.
Like
Although
possibly another time travel.
Although technically, I think if I remember the series 7 finale correctly, like the ancient main six, their elements were slightly different. In a sense.
but
they were a different. They were a
yeah,
different
but
sort of
the
thing.
new, let's call them the new main six, because they're the student main six really. I can see them having slightly different elements.
Well, yeah,
In a sense,
their traits are slightly different. They kind of all have their own.
Well, yeah, that's good though. That means they're not just rehashes.
Yeah, because we don't want rehashes. Because I think.
Well, we've only got one more season to go, so you know.
Well, true.
Fingers crossed that the writers will have been reserving some of their biggest creativity for the final season.
I hope they do.
Let's hope so.
Let's hope they do go all out, and they better do a really good final if it's going to be good.
So I think we've pretty much covered it.
Yeah, so that was our discussion of the finale of MLP season 8.
Link in the description as per usual.
It was our discussion of the series as a whole and our favourite characters. Yeah.
And for any of you still watching, you may be wondering, what are we going to do during the hiatus?
Well,
that's a damn good question.
Well,
because we haven't quite.
I think I think for a start, there is a hell of a lot of Equestria Girls stuff we can react to.
Yeah, there's a lot of Equestria Girls stuff which we can react to when Tip Top can actually make it down here.
Yeah,
so we'll be
You can
focusing.
do it without me if you need to.
No, because I think we're better saving that until when you come down here because we're going to be
guys have got animes
We've got
reacted.
plenty of anime reactions.
Yeah,
Steins Gate is one we're planning on releasing at some point. We're currently doing.
Well, as always, My Hero Academia and Sword Art Online.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, My Hero Academia. That will stay on Wednesdays like it is currently. Steins Gate is going to move in now that so in the Saturday slot, Steins Gate's going to move in, and that's a really interesting time travel anime.
Oh god, I'm really loving
Our episode
that.
discussions have been super interesting.
Oh
though, so
god,
look
that
forward
is
to
one
those.
hell of a good anime.
And yeah, there's also the new series of Sword Art Online, but don't worry too much about that one if you're subscribed to us here, because that one's actually only going to be showing up on BitChute, and that's going to be on our older reaction style where we just kind of record it all in one go rather than combine the two, mainly because
That's going to be exclusive because it's an anime. We need to find
Sword Art Online is ridiculously copyright protected, and yeah, I'm very sort of cautious about uploading
We
anything
will
related
probably
to it
never
onto
put that on YouTube,
Yeah.
so it's going to have to be on another site. So
But subscribe to us on BitChute. So.
Yeah. Anyway, that is it from Dark Manor Marshmallows for this season of MLP and for the time being. So yeah, you've got all that to look forward to. We are now going to go and get something to eat because we've just recorded 4 episodes of MLP in a row and we're getting kind of hungry. So yeah, so stay tuned for more.
Well,
Don't go
look
anywhere.
forward
So
to
for
more.
all of us, for all
And
of
if
us,
you haven't already, please like and subscribe and leave a comment in below.
we need to be loved.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah,
So from all of us here at Dark Manor Marshmallows, I'm Tip Top,
I'm Skybound.
Starlight Flux.
and we will see you all very soon.
Goodbye.
Right.
Can we get drunk now?